The secret to handling this one is the analogy CAR, and it stands for congratulate, ask about it, reframe. Good morning, Sales Ascender. What is happening? Sean here, back at you with another SOS. That's our sales objection series for this high ticket tune-up. I hope you're having a great day today. It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I hope you're getting your tacos. Drop in the comments below, what tacos are you going to eat tonight? And let's just jump right into it. Today's question comes from Rick. Rick actually asked, he said, what do I say when they say, I already have a coach? Great question, Rick. And there's a three-part framework. The secret to handling this one is the analogy CAR, and it stands for congratulate, ask about it, reframe. So congratulate, ask about it, reframe, CAR. So remember that word CAR when they say, I already have a coach. That's the easy way to handle this particular objection. I'm going to get into it in a second. I just want to share a quick story about how it happened. The other day, I'm on the phone and I'm speaking with a young lady who is a perfect fit for what we do. She has the problem that we solve at a very high level. We got to the place where she said, yes, Sean, I want to work with you. You definitely understand that I have the problem that you solve, and I understand that you can solve the problem, and this would be a good fit. And I said, great, let's just jump over the next hurdle. Like, what's the next steps that we got to jump over? Let's talk about a budget. Do you have a budget set aside to solve this problem of yours? And she said, well, I already have a coach. And immediately when I hear that one, I think of the word CAR. So whenever someone says, I already have a coach, think about the word CAR. The first letter is C, stands for congratulate. Congratulations. I think it's awesome that you've invested yourself in coaching. What decided to make you go in that direction to invest in coaching? Just congratulate them. Very simple. Secondly, ask about it, right? You heard me just ask about it a second ago, but again, congratulate and then ask about it. So why did you decide to pick up a coach? Oh, well, I needed to solve this other problem. Oh, great. Tell me more about that. Well, this was the problem I had. Can you be more specific, right? It's the magic 8 questions. It's so easy. And you walk down them and you say, can you tell me more about that? Can you be more specific? How long have you been in that coaching program? Has it worked to solve the problem that it's trying to solve for you? Where did you get hung up in this program? This ask about it section when somebody says they already have a coach is powerful because you can dive in there and you can learn exactly why they ended up investing in it, what was the problem they were trying to solve. And what I do when I get this question is I use it to gain a bunch of intel. In the conversation that I'm having with this young lady, I start asking these questions and she said, well, and I'll give you the real example because it's my business and it makes sense for you to hear it. So she said, well, I got involved with this program and it's about $2,500 a month. And I said, okay. What is it doing for you? And she said, well, it's teaching me how to build a webinar and a funnel and put it all together. And then I said, great, that's perfect because those are great things. Do you like your coach? And she said, yes. And we got in there further. And I said, what made you decide to invest in this program? And she said, well, I'm trying to work on my business and I need to get it into the social media space a little bit more. And I found this program and I heard a lot of good reviews about it. So I invested in it. I said, well, did you meet with or speak with the coach? And she said, yeah, we had these coaching calls and everything else. And I said, well, has it solved your problem? And she said, no. And I looked shocked and I said, wait, what do you mean? Like you already have a coach. Isn't that coach supposed to solve the problem? And she said, and she did the lean in the call and she leans in and she says, Sean, let me tell you something. She's like, nobody in this has ever asked me the questions that you've asked me in a conversation. And that's great. I'm grateful that she said that to me. But she said these other people, like they kind of solved this problem, but it didn't actually solve the root of the core of the problem that I had. And that real problem is once I had this thing up and running, like I don't know how to get people to come to it. I said, oh, I see. So it's just a different problem. And I said, well, how far along are you in this coaching program? And she said to me, I'm just about finished. I've got another like 2 or 3 or 4 months. And so now I have a timeline of when it would make sense to engage if she couldn't afford to do both. So I'm gathering intel as I'm speaking with her. And then she says, I said, well, are you going to continue that program? She's like, well, tell me about yours. And I shared a little bit about what our program was involved with. And I said, but you already have a coach. And the whole time I'm kind of pushing back. And so I was asking about it. And then the third piece is to reframe. So now we've done congratulations. I asked a bunch of questions to get a bunch of intel about what she was doing. And the last thing is to reframe. And say reframing means just simply giving her another perspective or sharing something with that. So in that exact example, what I did is I said to her, I said, okay, so you have this coach that's helping you to build this webinar and get your funnel all kind of put together. What's the traffic source that they're going to use? And she said paid ads. And I said, man, do you have a budget to invest in paid ads? Do you know about paid ads? And I started digging there a little bit to see if there's any pain. And she's like, I have no idea how to do ads. And I said, ooh, okay. I said, how close are you to the webinar? She's like, I've got it about done, but I'm just doing some final tweaks. And I said, okay, great. Well, here is the problem that you're going to run into. And I just shared a problem that I thought she was going to run into, which was, hey, you're going to have the funnel up and running. You're going to have the webinar going, which is fantastic. But if you can't get the quality, bright people to go look at this thing every single day, like that's where might get stuck. And she said, yeah, I know, that's why we're talking. And I said, okay, well, let's talk about that. What does that mean if that happens in your world? And I reframed this conversation in her world to share where the major pain point wasn't so much that her other coaching had done what it was supposed to do, which is perfect. Then I said, well, here's kind of the next problem you're going to hit. What should we do about that? And she said, oh, I need to fix that now, because I can actually step away from that program a little bit. And I said, great, well, here's kind of how ours works. This is the problem that we solve. And if this is the problem you think you're going to hammer, because I reframed it away from, I don't think she needs a funnel and I don't think she needs the webinar anymore. The next biggest problem in her world is going to be this. So timing becomes important, but when you reframe it this way, all of a sudden they will say, that totally makes sense. And say, great. And now then you get into a little bit more of the money question of, well, you're already paying for this other coach. Our amount is this. So she's paying $2,500. And I said, well, with everything else, it can get to about $1,500 a month for you with us to solve this problem. And I said, what are the options we have to afford this? She said, well, I could cancel this other program, or I could go into my savings. Or I said, okay, great. Well, there's a lot of options on how to do it. Well, what's going to serve you the best? I mean, do you need to continue and finish that program? And she eventually said, no, I think I can actually pause that one and I'll come work with you for a minute. And then when this gets moving, if I have to go back, I can go back and do that one. And so that's what actually happened in this particular instance for us. But again, it's the objection of, I already have a coach, or I already am in a contract, or I'm already doing work with another provider. It's somewhat of the same objection. And we just remember the jump in the car, go for a ride. What I mean by that, congratulate, ask about it, and then reframe the problem, or share the next problem that they're going to run into. Because when you do that, then you will have a clear pathway to establish a bunch of pain. And where there's pain, there's value. Where there's value, there's dollars. And if you do it right, you can get to that place where you can collect the dollars and actually serve somebody and make a big impact in their world. Just to full circle share the story with you, this lady ended up starting to work with us, and she's been working with us now for about 12 weeks and seeing bigger results. I mean, like, she's driving the right people right into our program now, and it's starting to crank over, and it's just cool to watch her grow. So that's how I handle I already have a coach. I hope this one served you today. It's Taco Tuesday. Drop a comment below. Let me know what tacos you're eating today. And with that said, you've just been tuned up. So I'll see you tomorrow. That's what we do.